Commas are very important, and so we need to use them correctly in our writing. This lesson is going to be over a couple different things. Appositives and explanatory phrases, and how it's important to use commas to set them apart. Okay, so let's get right into it. To set off appositives. A positive is a word or a phrase that identifies or renames a noun or pronoun. Okay? So it's something that identifies or renames. Let's look at this example here. We'll look at this first one. The capital of Cyprus, Nicosia, has a population of almost 643,000. Nicosia renames capital of Cyprus. So the word is set off with commas. It's something that renames a noun. The next example. Cyprus, an island in the Mediterranean Sea, is about half the size of Connecticut. An island in the Mediterranean Sea identifies Cyprus to the phrase, so the phrase is set off with commas. Okay, those are both appositives, which is either renaming or identifying a noun or pronoun. Now here's an example right here of one that is not. It says the Mediterranean island, Cyprus, is about half the size of Connecticut. Now Cyprus is not set off because it's needed to make the sentence clear. All right, but if you don't need it, have the sentence be more clear, then you're okay, and it would be a positive, and it would get set off with commas. All right, this next one is to set off explanatory phrases. Phrases that explain something. So let's look at this first one here. English, comma, the language computers speak worldwide, comma, is also the most widely used language in science and medicine. You set it off with commas because it explains a little more. Next one. More than 750 million people, comma, about an eighth of the world's population, comma, speak English as a foreign language. So that is an explanatory phrase telling us a little bit more, explaining a little bit more. So we set it off with commas. All right, let's practice. On page 11 in your notebook or in your workbook, there are some problems here that we have to either add commas or it is correct just the way it is. So, first one's done for us. You could actually pause this video and do the 6 and then come back and we can look at them, or follow along as we go. All right, number 1. There are 2 types of snakes, comma, poisonous and non-poisonous. All right, that tells us a little bit more information. So it's an explanatory phrase, and it's set off by a comma. Number 2, the water moccasin, a poisonous snake found in southern swamps, is known for its dark body and white mouth. The water moccasin, comma, a poisonous snake found in southern swamps, comma, is known for its dark body and white mouth. You could say the water moccasin is known for its dark body and white mouth. That is a good sentence. This adds a little bit. It gives a little bit explanation, a little bit more identification to the water moccasin. So we set it off with commas. Number 3, although many people are afraid of snakes, and there he put 1 comma there, these animals, which are actually very timid, then we need another comma there, help control pest populations. Although many people are afraid of snakes, these animals, which are actually very timid, help control pest populations. That is the phrase that needs to be set apart. Okay, number 4. Certain snakes are poisonous to kill rats and mice. Certain snakes use poison to kill rats and mice, their main food source. So we put a comma right here. Okay, that's the explanatory phrase. All snakes, comma, poisonous and non-poisonous, comma, have scales on their bodies. There you go. That's the explanatory phrase. Number 6. Wider scales which are found on the belly of a snake are used to move it forward. Wider snakes wider scales, which are found on the belly of a snake, that's the explanatory phrase, are used to move it forward. Okay, so that's number 1 through 6. Let's go to page 12 and we will keep working. Okay, I'm going to make these a little bigger. Let's start with number 7. The scales must push against the ground so a snake can move. So a snake is helpless on glass, a very smooth material. Scales must push against the ground so that a snake can move. Comma, they put 1 there. So a snake is helpless on glass, comma, a very smooth material. Okay. And a very smooth material helps us to explain glass. Number 8. In northern states, the garter snake, a harmless yellow and black striped reptile, is often found in backyards. So, in northern states, the garter snake, let's explain that a little bit more. A harmless yellow and black striped reptile, comma, so you put a comma before the phrase and after the phrase, is often found in backyards. Number 9. Never pick up poisonous snakes, comma, which have heads shaped like arrowheads. Everything looks good there. I don't think we need a comma, so I'm going to write correct. All right, let's go to 10. In the Southwest, the sidewinder, a snake that lives in the desert, moves sideways by touching only 2 points of its body to the ground to avoid being burned by hot sand. We get a little bit more explanation about the sidewinder. The sidewinder, a snake that lives in the desert, comma, moves sideways. So we've given it a little more explanation. Okay, let me move this up so we can see 11 through 14. Perfect. Although the blue racer, a snake of meadows and forests, sounds like a fast-moving snake, it can only go 4 miles an hour. So I think we're giving some information about the blue racer. Although the blue racer, a snake of meadows and forests, comma, sounds like a fast-moving snake, it can only go 4 miles an hour. All right. Number 12. The royal python, which has bright colors and is very popular with pet owners, will often curl itself into a ball when it is frightened. Okay. Number 13. The left lung, very small in some snakes, is actually missing in many others. Okay, so we get a little bit more information about the left lung. It's set apart. It gives us some information. Number 14. There are no snakes in Ireland, an island near the western coast of Europe. Okay, they've already set that apart with a comma describing Ireland. So it is correct. All right, and that is about explanatory phrases. If you have any questions, I would love to help you understand it even more.